Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sonic Comic Chaos. I'm your host, Silver1, and joining me as always is my co-host, Ian Waffles. Ian, say hi.
Hello.
And now, folks, when it comes to entertainment, a lot of it is built around trilogies. You know, you have the Back to the Future trilogy, Lord of the Rings trilogy, you got the multiple Star Wars trilogies. But if you ask me, I don't think any of them can hold a candle to the Tommy Turtle trilogy. Ian, I'm sure you're inclined to agree.
I mean, it's only second to the future Knuckles quadrilogy that we're reading alongside of it. It's a great moment.
Oh, oh, of course, of course. But before we can get into that, we have to once again return to Ian and Ace read your comments. So from oh god, okay, so the YouTube Studio app has started doing this thing where it puts like the person's at instead of their like username.
I know I don't like it.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, most of these I recognize because most of these are our regulars. So okay, you know what? We'll see how this goes. So from Nick Marlin, they put the timestamp in the Spark of Life episode where I found out you didn't like Sad AM. Do you remember? Do you
It's a
remember that moment?
6.
It is not a 6.
Well, considering what you think of Endgame, I don't really trust that.
Aw, that game's good. Go listen to our last episode, folks, if you want to know our thoughts on Endgame.
I was gonna say I'm just giving him a preview.
Yeah. Then from Snap, the story should have kept Cyborg Robotnik. That was cool, and Sonic could, quote, kill him as much as he wanted, and have an easy explanation how he could keep coming back that the games don't do. Oh, and Eggman could fight him hand to hand. Get on that, IDW. I think Cyborg Robotnik is a cool idea. I mean, I don't know. Ian, thoughts?
I mean, they did it for a little bit, and that's kind of just what Archie did for a while, is they just had Robotnik get like blown up or destroyed, or they can kind of do whatever with him. The is that he keeps coming back, and so then it feels like you just smash him or whatever. So I guess maybe what they think would be the pro of it would be like, I don't know, you can be a little more like have a bit more carnage, I guess when Sonic destroys him. But like that's about the only good thing you'd get from that. So I don't really think you need it. It's kind of good to give Eggman his own stakes, and so him being flesh and blood's probably a good idea in the long run.
Yeah, I that's the thing, right? Is that it's the stakes. Whereas obviously, like, they're never gonna kill Robotnik, but like, if you know Robotnik basically has like unlimited continues, then all of a sudden it's like then it deflates the tension. And also, I think like part of the appeal of Eggman as an antagonist is that like him and Sonic don't often just punch each other, like at least anymore. Like the fact that he has like his robots and that it's
Yeah,
Sonic
there's special
Brawn,
occasions when they do.
Yeah. From Joshua Taylor, will you do the school arc? Is that the one where Mina has the fucked up face
That's a good
on the
question.
cover?
I guess. I mean, it's just like a issue. So
I mean, maybe if we, Ian wants to do how we have us like go back and look at older issues, like when we sometimes. So maybe we'll look at it. Is it anything interesting, or is it just like, oh, they went to school? Isn't that wacky?
no, it's just that it looks like dog shit. And that it's kind of funny because of that. But you've just watched my videos with low art, and you'll get the experience.
Yeah. All right, and then
So we'll put it at a maybe.
From oh well, first of all, we had from Lesule, they congratulated me on my degree, which thank you, I appreciate that. And then okay, they once again said I did not think my comment would get read in a video because my comments tend to be long. That's crazy. Yeah, it got read. Yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
And then we have one more is just from Deku Chika. I'm sorry. They just put the timestamps to when we talked about the breakup of the slap and all that, and they referred to that as the main event, which I agree. I think that was a good talk. I think we went pretty in depth with it. I think we had probably one of the more nuanced discussions that's been had on that topic, because I think generally when people talk about it, it's like Sally's such a bitch for slapping Sonic, or why did they make Sally into such a bitch and have her slap Sonic?
Yeah, I enjoyed that discussion, so I'm glad people like it.
Yeah, but alrighty, let's hop right into the Tommy Turtle trilogy. So, okay. So, oh, all right. Okay. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so Sonic the Hedgehog
He's
number
speechless,
135.
you know?
Yeah, it's so good. It's the thing. 135. The race begins now. The Tommy trilogy. It's not even the Tommy Turtle trilogy. It's just the Tommy trilogy. Part 1, Agent of Knothole.
Okay.
So we just had a whole arc that was meant to like shake the foundations of Archie Sonic. You know, we had Sonic got back from space and him and Sally broke up, and we have new status quos for everyone. And then this shit happens. And I think I saw on Twitter somewhere, and Ian, maybe you can corroborate this, that this was originally written like before Sonic got lost in space, and so it was like meant to go there. Is that true or is that bullshit?
Oh, I've never heard of that, but I mean, so so by the way, this is the issue where Sonic goes to the bar and he like meets Tommy, right?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like something that could have been an old script, just because like Tommy dies in like issue. I don't know, because like Tommy dies like really close to before space. So I don't know if like they had always planned it. I mean, regardless, it doesn't matter because why did you bring Tommy Turtle back? That's the big question.
Yeah, I mean that is I mean, look, we won't have to deal with him for long, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, because all this issue is this A story anyway, and it's pretty short too. Is just that Sonic goes to I think it's the bottom of the Bear Grill or something like that. He goes to the outback or whatever. And he meets up with his old dead friend Tommy Turtle, and he's like, "Bro, Robotnik's got like a new robotization thing going on. The aliens didn't fix it, bro." And Sonic's like, "What?" And then Metal Destructix show up, and Sonic kicks their ass, and then they leave.
Yeah, the Destructix. Those are fun. Those are characters I know.
Or sorry, the Fearsome Foursome. They're not the Destructix yet.
Oh, well, I knew the characters regardless. I was like, it's Sleuth Doggy Dog.
It is. That's him. But he's a robot and he's dead now, so that's good.
He doesn't do shit. Yeah, they murder them. Like Tommy's like, oh yeah, I had him walk to the bottom of a lake. It's like, oh shit. Like,
yeah,
those were people.
Yeah, and Sonic's just like, I don't really care.
No, he couldn't give a fuck.
But yeah, so what did you... Here's the thing, right? So this issue, it's literally just that, but I think, like, for what it is, I think the art really, like, elevates it, because the fight's actually really cool.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's a fun issue.
Like, I actually really like the really harsh shading, and, like, Sonic just, like, kind of being an asshole, being like,
yeah,
I don't know, or, like, he's trying to do, like, narrator stuff, and he's like, man, this narrator stuff sucks.
Yeah. I wish he wore this detective outfit he wears on the like previously on page, because he just wears like a cloak in the book, I think.
Yeah.
Is this for? This looks too good to just be for the preview page, but I also can't think of any previous issue where he'd have worn it. So, because obviously there was the when they thought they were going to do something with the extra zones that opened up after Endgame, you had that issue where he was like a detective for a bit, but he was still classic for that, so it couldn't be from that. So
yeah,
who knows? Yeah, my first note, because in the page it explains like who Tommy is, what happened to him. And my first note is, wait, who sacrificed what for what?
Oh yeah. So do you want me to give you the backstory of Tommy Turtle?
I mean, yes, they kind of explain it here. Like there was some shit that was gonna blow up, and he threw Sonic off, and then he hid in his shell. But yeah, if you want to go in more in depth, please do.
I mean, it's literally just that there's an issue where Sonic comes to this exact same place. And he's like dressed up as a rabbit, and then he goes in and he's like, I got a distress call from my good old buddy Tommy Turtle, Tommy Turtle, who you've never heard about before, reader. Let me explain to you who that is. And so we find out that Tommy Turtle, this is very important. Tommy Turtle is the character to teach Sonic what the meaning of friendship is and how to be a good person.
I remember that from the video.
Yeah, so he basically, Sonic was like, hey, Tommy, you're a big, stupid turtle, and I'm a fast hedgehog. I'll race you. Or, you suck, you're an asshole. And then Tommy's like, that's not cool, Sonic. I bet I could beat you in a race. And then Sonic goes, cool. And then it's literally the tortoise and the hare. And that's it. And then Sonic's like, where like the hare goes to the finish line, he falls asleep. And then the turtle, because it kept moving or whatever, it still wins. And so Tommy wins. And then Sonic's like, oh, baby, I've learned the error of my ways. I've learned the meaning of friendship. And then in the story, they meet up, and Tommy sacrifices himself because they meet Sleuth Doggy Dog. And he's like, I have a grenade. And then he throws a grenade and the whole building blows up, and Tommy Turtle sacrifices himself. And the story ends with Sonic going, that day, Tommy once again taught me the true meaning of friendship. Tommy's a very important character, if you didn't know.
No, of course. They're definitely not just gonna blow him up like an asshole in a few issues.
Yeah, so he's back
again.
But there's some sneaky stuff going on because he seems to, something happens to a robot that's attacking him. Ooh, what does it mean?
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, next issue.
Yeah, but we find out that it turns out Tommy wasn't shellacked.
No. Sorry, I was just so shook. I was shocked before you even said what happened. What happened, Zace?
I was just talking about the pun, the shellacked pun that they have on the...
Oh, I didn't see that.
I found that amusing. Yeah, so Sonic shows up at like this seedy like place where it's like these people don't want to join the resistance against Robotnik, but they also don't want to join Robotnik, so they just kind of chill here and they all suck. And then we see Eggman and Snively. And Snively's a robot?
Yes.
Still?
No.
Yeah, they fixed that, right?
So all this is just some weird, again, I think this is where people think this was an old script, because that's the only way this makes sense. Because there's no reason, for one, Snively is not with Eggman anymore. They established that at the end of the Alien arc, where it's like Snively is vanished or whatever, and then he's not there when we've returned. So and also he's a person now. So I think what happened is, yeah, this might have been an old script, because Snively, maybe it was back then, and Snively was still a robot or something. But the way they retcon this is just that later they say that Eggman is working on a metal Snively project, and so this is just one of the versions. So it's just a robot Snively subordinate that just talks to Eggman, and that's it. And then he literally never shows up again.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
These comics are bad, and the people writing them did not think or care.
Also, I forgot to say this, but one of my notes was the Tommy Trilogy. Oh dear. So Sonic's talking to the turtle, and he's like, "I'm alive," and they refer to Sleuth Doggy Dog as simply the dog.
The dog.
Spelled DAWG.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And then the fearsome foursome show up and they fight. They murder them.
Yeah.
And so my note says
as far as Sonic knows, these are the roboticized version of these real people, and he's like, I don't care, fuck them.
Yeah, no, it's just what the fuck.
Yeah, Sonic, hello, are you okay with murder, my friend?
Yeah, but that's the A story. It's fun. It's fun. And then we get Dr. Robotnik in Anonymous. And it's just fun. It's hey, there's someone fucking up my shit. There's someone who's making de-roboticized people roboticized again. How'd that happen? There's a fun line where he's talking to Adam. There's a couple interesting lines here. First of all, he's he says something mean to Adam, and then he takes it back, and then he goes, "Thank you, Father." And Eggman goes, "Don't mention it, ever."
I actually like this little story because I like the little conversation with Adam and Eggman.
Yeah.
Now, do you know where this goes as far as
I know
the whole anonymous Adam thing?
Okay. Yes and no. So I know. I've heard, I don't know if this is true, Anonymous was meant to be the original Dr. Robotnik, right?
Well, Anonymous was meant to be whatever the fuck Romy Chikam was going to do with him. And we have no clue about that. And then Flynn was like, oh, we'll make him Robotnik, like the original Robotnik's, like when he died, his like sentience went to a computer. And so it's actually him. And then it turns out that it's just Adam. And so like Anonymous was going to be like 3 different people. But the reason is like it actually kind of works pretty well is that like Adam is established like in the first arc as being like he's just like Eggman's robot kid or whatever. And he doesn't understand games. But then Tails plays games with him, and he like starts to kind of like understand them, and he kind of likes them. And so like as the story progresses, we learn about Anonymous, and the kind of idea here is that Flynn retroactively makes the case is that Adam wants to like he wants to be loved by his dad. He wants to kind of fulfill like taking over the world and doing that, and all that stuff. But he wants to like make a game of it. He wants to like have this persona and like be a rival to his father and like take out all these bad guys, take out all the people who are against Eggman, and then have him figure it out. And it's like, oh, it was me, and now I'm gonna take over the world for you, father, just like you programmed me to do. And so this is kind of like retroactively made into that, which is kind of fun because Adam throughout this whole story, Robotnik's like, get me this information. He's like, I literally can't, sorry. And then he's like, get me this information. He's like, oh, so for some reason I can get this footage, but the guy who is anonymous is blotted out. Oh, that's weird. So it's kind of fun that retroactively it does pretty well work.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And who knows? I don't know. Maybe that was the plan of the other writer, but it's just a cool idea.
Yeah. Well, the reason I was like, oh yeah, this is meant to be Robotnik is because they Robotnik goes on about like whoever this is, he must have like my level of intelligence. Yeah. And then when they show the blotted out figure, which it's so funny, the blot goes under Lightning Lynx's ear. So it's not like it's just like a sensor bar. Like this is like perfectly cropped.
Yeah.
But he's as tall as me.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, I don't know if I feel like, I mean, Robotnik built this body for himself. Like I assume he would have at least made himself a little taller than he used to be, but maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like that feels like what they're getting at here, but also that's really stupid.
That's because the original Robotnik.
Yeah, because like
I would have hated that, honestly.
So like either because they already did it for like a throwaway joke issue, which is like fine, whatever, do what you will. But like, because if you bring back the original Robotnik, like, okay, that's a cool reveal. And
but it kind of, I was gonna say, it just undermines the original one actually dying, which was really cool.
Yeah, not only does it undermine that, but also it's like, okay, so is he gonna take over for
this and then it's like, okay, are we gonna undermine this one?
Yeah, or like no. Are we gonna have this Robotnik like beat him? Which like logically he would, because this Robotnik is seemingly more competent. But like, I don't know, it's just, it would have been bad. So I'm glad they did what they did with it being Adam.
Yeah, and it was that was all thanks to Sega, because they were just like, no, and he's like, okay.
Which is interesting. It's weird that that's where Sega would put their foot down of like, I guess because it's like having 2 Robotnik. I would love to know.
I guess maybe.
Yeah, I'd love to know what the plan was of like, because I assume Flynn got a little further than just, and then it'll be Robotnik. Like I assume he had like a story planned. I don't know, maybe it would have been good, but
I don't think he got. I don't know if he got too far, because like I think people have asked him about it, and he's like, it was just kind of just in the planning phases. But yeah, it's so funny too, because literally when like Anonymous is revealed, where it's like, oh, it's Adam, the way they reveal it, like, because it's supposed to be like, it's not supposed to be like. The idea is that not that like Adam is a separate entity. It's that the original Robotnik is Adam, who is Anonymous. Yeah. So like when they reveal like, oh, Adam is Anonymous, they give him a silhouette, and the silhouette is very obviously the old Robotnik. So
oh yeah, completely.
Yeah. So it's like, and that was like very close to when it would have happened. So it's like, yeah, I really don't know how far he got before they pulled the plug on it, but it's just very funny to think about.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy this whole part, and it is very funny that they're like, oh yeah, this is 100% roboticized versions of like Sleuth Doggy Dog and all these characters, and then Sonic just fucking murders them, and so Flynn brings it back of like, no, they were just like robot replicas, like they're not actually roboticized.
Yeah, but I guess yeah, and then are we saving the 25 years later stuff for
Yeah,
the
we'll
end,
save
like
that all
before?
together.
Okay, so then we will move on to Sonic the Hedgehog number 136. I just saw the cover again.
He's dying again.
Like, this issue is so fucking stupid, man.
This
Okay.
is the one with Hot Sally, right?
No, next issue is the one with Hot Sally.
Gosh, that one's insane. But yeah, this
We
one's
have to wait a little longer.
Yeah, this is the one with dead Jules on the cover.
Yeah. Look at it. Oh god. I mean, let's just get into it, man. I can't fucking.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the riveting tale. Tell me about it.
another thing that's confusing is that not all doesn't look like this anymore, but it apparently does. So
they can never decide what it is.
And then, funnily enough, we mentioned it before, but Tails is studying for one of his classes, which it's interesting.
I guess he's still in school.
Yeah, well, it's interesting also that Tails is like they don't play up the genius angle quite yet, or at least it doesn't seem like they are. Because like I feel like if you did a plot like this with Tails today, like you wouldn't have him. Like he literally says a line like, "This is so hard. I'd rather face 3 Robotniks than tackle this test," which is like.
Yeah, the way they portray Tails in Archie is that he is just a mechanical genius, which I guess he technically is in the games. Like, I don't know if he's supposed to actually be like. I mean, is Tails in the? I can't even remember. Is Tails in the game supposed to be like book smart and that kind of stuff, or is he just mechanically smart?
Like that's a very good question.
Because that's what they do in Archie. Is that he's just very good at building things.
Tails usually, from what I recall, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but I've always thought of him as having what I call lazy genius syndrome, where they just know everything so that way the plot can move forward.
Right.
But I guess thinking back, yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess I don't know. That's interesting. But so he's studying, and Sonic comes home from a mission to do something. It doesn't matter. He
goes home to sleep.
Yeah, he comes home, he eats his breakfast, and he goes to sleep. And he was very rude to his parents.
Yeah, and his dad was like, "I'm gonna have to get out the belt."
I mean, I don't know where...
and then the Chad Jules, as he always is, he's like, He's like, that seems a bit fishy. And he goes in to find Tommy Turtle is not going to to say hi to Sonic. He's going to murder Sonic. And Jules, the mad lad he is, he saves his son and he fucking dies.
Yeah, it's so good, dude.
I love him. What a cool guy.
Okay. I have 4 notes that all boil down basically to, wait, what? So the first one is here in this scene. Wait, what? Because
you're like, wait, is that it? Is he dead?
Well, no, I know he's not, because he shows up later, but it's like Tommy's got a fucking drill hand, and
oh yeah, you're Jules, like, what's happening?
Jules goes to fight him, and he just gets fucking impaled.
It's pretty gruesome.
You're right. Well, that's the thing. He's a robot, so like, fuck that guy. They can do whatever they want to him.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
But so then they do a weird bit. So they cut to Uncle Chuck's lab. So we find out the Tommy Turtle that we spent all last issue getting. Yeah, it wasn't Tommy Turtle. It was a robot. So yes. Fuck you.
So that the next issue we can then get him for real.
So Tommy is actually in 1 issue of the Tommy trilogy. And then it seems like they're setting up a joke, like, in movies where I'll have a joke where like a person's like putting together like a diorama, or like I think I remember in Zack and Cody they did this like a bottle ship or something where a person's like, okay, I just have to do this very carefully.
Oh, and then
someone barges in and it ruins it.
Yeah, only in this case it's with your dead dad.
Yeah, but like Chuck is doing science ? And then they burst it on his dead brother.
He's like Uncle Chuck, he's dead.
I can't fucking. It's so stupid.
And then he is dead. Like his robot soul is gone, and Sonic goes, "No." the big NO.
I love
and
it
it's
so
great.
Much. It's so good. And then Sonic runs. So, oh my God. Audience, I understand that what we've explained probably it doesn't do it justice. You need to read this. It's just it just goes. Like it's just like, yeah, he's dead. Like, or like Sonic's home, and then Tommy's got a drill, and now he's dead. Oh, but he's at the table, and now he's not. Like it's just it's like 6 pages. Like Jules goes from alive to dead to alive again in like 6 pages.
Just like in real life.
Exactly. But like, so then there's a bit where like we're by the Lake of Rings, and there's a guy who I guess his job is just to get the ring whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
And because they're like, Sonic, he's dead. Like, we're sorry, but like, there's nothing we can do. Because Sonic's like, well, my dad's not like a person anymore, right? So you could just like fix him, right? Like, you just put his robot guts back in, right? And he's like, I would love if Chuck was like, you know, it's very offensive, Sonic.
But, he was more than that, son.
But he's like, nah, he's dead as fuck, dude. And so then Sonic runs and he grabs a ring from the Lake of Rings, and he's like, live, damn it!
Wish, Sonic. Wish harder than you've ever wished for anything in your entire fucking life. And then it works, and he brings his dad back to life. And we don't even get to see it happen too, which is the funniest part. Like, it just happens off screen. He's like, man, I sure love my dad.
Yeah, it was just so fucking funny, dude. I can't even.
Yeah, well, because it's just so fast, you know. And again, like, the drawings are so ridiculous. To me, like, what's so funny about it too is that Sonic says, like, you know what, Uncle Chuck, I'm gonna be a better son, and I'm gonna like spend time with my family. 1, this doesn't happen, and 2, he already made this promise in Preboot, like whenever they got
75, right?
Yeah, when they got kidnapped. So like, it's just so funny that the comic's just like, this is a thing Sonic has learned. It's like, he already learned this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then they kill Tommy. They got that done, and so yeah, they're like, well, I guess real Tommy is probably out there, I would hope.
Yeah, here's what I don't understand. He goes, this is before about blah, 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 it says Robo Systems imprint Tommy Tortoise season 17, and then Sonic goes, season 17? That would mean that Tommy's alive. What does season 17 mean?
I don't know. Sonic figured it out. He's the true genius around here.
Yeah, and that's that. Let me just read to you my notes. So I'm just gonna read you these. These are 4 consecutive notes that I wrote while reading this. Wait, what? What the fuck is Uncle Chuck even doing? What the fuck? What?
So and also, like, this is like, so again, this is why, like, the Archie Sonic comics, like, they just do whatever they want, because, like, okay, because the magic rings are bullshit. Like, they established, like, in the early, like, in Sad AM, they just give you a power boost, and like sometimes I think they do other things, but like for the most part, it's just like energy. Like, you get a power boost, or like sometimes he gets like a shield, but like they don't do anything too crazy with them. But in like Archie Sonic, they can just do anything. Like, they can give you a boost. They can literally grant wishes. Which, or they
I thought
can,
that
like,
was only the Ring of Acorns.
No, because he just did it with a normal ring, dude.
Yeah, well, no, but you could say that like they just have like healing properties.
He brought him back to life.
Well, yeah, but like he was legally
and he
dead.
says, Sonic, wish harder than you've wished for anything in your life.
Okay, fine. He raised the dead. Are you happy?
Yeah, but anyway, so the reason this is funny, right, is because, well, okay, that breaks the plot a little bit.
A little bit.
So Flynn just kind of like, he has to like figure out a way to hand wave this away whenever Antoine like bites it. And so like they just like use the ring, and they're like, well, the rings don't seem to work as much on you as they do on Sonic. And so that's the excuse.
So wait, okay. Is it because like, so does it work on Jules because he's Sonic's dad then? So whatever thing Sonic has that lets him absorb the ring super good, he has too? Or, oh, no. Here, I'll explain it right now. Because Sonic used the ring on his dad. That's why.
Yeah, I would guess so. Well, and I'd also think like, I think the idea will just like, the implicit idea would just be like, yeah, that's just like a you know, that's just like it worked out that time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, how do you get around it?
Yeah.
You know, you just say like it's a 1 in a million. Which, I mean, to be fair, in this story, they kind of like frame it like it's a 1 in a million chance. You know, so that's how we kind of get around it. Is we're just like, well, it doesn't seem to work as well on you, Antoine. Oopsie poopsies. Which, I mean, I wouldn't want them to heal Antoine because that would be stupid.
Yeah.
So
No. Well, I remember that. But like the power rings are basically working kind of like as a life support for Antoine, if I remember properly.
yes, which,
like,
I mean,
it's keeping him alive, but barely.
Yeah, which is good. Which, in a sense, you could say like, you know, Jules is a robot, so like he really only needs that spark, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas like keeping Antoine alive basically says, like you said, it's like it basically did bring him back to life, but now he's just like fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
But it's just very funny, all the like all the things in the Sonic comic that just break the story, and like you either just need to like the writers just have to like work, like Flynn basically, because all the other writers just do whatever they want. They just have to work around them.
Yeah.
So I just think this is a funny example of like, shit, they can do this now.
But yeah, and then we'll skip over 25 years later to a Knuckles backup that I actually quite enjoyed.
This is the one where he's trying to get on the island, right?
Yes.
Yes, I really like this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's just going up there. He's like, you know what? I gotta, the king told me to wait, but I don't want to wait. You know, Robotnik's got that thing. My people are up there. I gotta go save them. And my favorite line, I'll just read it verbatim. I'm not doing it to be the hero of Angel Island or to be the guardian that liberated her from evil. Not even to force my pops and the rest of the Brotherhood of Guardians to regard me as their equal, though those things would be cool. No, it's for my mom, who's somewhere on that island. I just want to save her and make her proud. Which, like, that's awesome. Like,
yeah,
that's just like, that's such like a humanizing thing for this character that you would never see today. Like, that's just I just like it. Like, this whole thing is just, it's cool, and then it ends with Knuckles going like, you know what? I should probably just wait. I should wait till I have backup. Like, I should, I shouldn't jump headfirst into this.
Yeah, well, and I like that the story actually shows that was the right decision, because Eggman did have a like, they were like, oh, like we're nearby where Knuckles is, let's set up a trap. And like, because Knuckles doesn't do it, the story actually shows that yes, it was a good idea to wait, you know?
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like, that's actually like a very like, that's a way to like, because you could have just had it be like, I'll wait, and then like we never know. But I think it's just way better that we know that yes, if he would have done that, that would have been a bad idea. And so like, it shows that Knuckles is like grown, you know?
Yes, I agree.
Good job, Romy Chacom. We have no clue who you are, but you wrote some of the best stories of this era for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I saw that name and I was like, who? Like, but yeah, no.
Like he literally like doesn't even have, like, to me he has to have been like a pseudonym for someone, because he literally doesn't even have like an image. His only contributions to anything have been the Sonic comics. So it's like, who the fuck were you?
Yeah.
But he will continue to have good stories, so look forward to that.
Nice. Alrighty, well then we'll move on to the final issue before we move into 25 years later. Sonic the Hedgehog number 137, the Tommy Trilogy, Part 3, Robo Dyne Systems.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is, as you said, the one where we have a voluptuous Ledra Sally Acorn.
Yeah, I think this is like the most they've ever been like, fuck you, we're just gonna make her like mega hot for no reason. It's like, all right, well, I'll take it.
Yeah. Who drew this? Was this this was
Stephen Butler.
This is Butler, I was to say. Yeah, and this issue's fun. Yeah, it's like,
no, I actually like this one too. Because I think because it's literally just like they invade a base, but because Stephen Butler's art is like so fucking cool, like you actually like feel the intensity of it. Like the shading is gorgeous. They have this shot of like a destroyed city, and above that is like New Megapolis or whatever, which is like this giant techno city. And then you have the ship by comparison, which is like so tiny. And like, it just like, it's genuinely like a really like intense situation, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's cool. Okay, and then, oh, I didn't mention this before, but there was a typo in the previous issue where they wrote Tails' name as Miles with a Y.
Yeah.
I just found that amusing.
We get a bit of Tails' insecurity still being here, where they still kind of treat him like a kid, or he's worried that they're treating him like a kid, I guess, if that makes sense. he's like, well, I'm gonna go. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
you have to guard the place. So like, I just
Yeah.
bring that up because like it gives a little more like context for whenever he's like, the freedom fighters fucking like Sonic, you just leave me on missions and blah blah blah. It's like there's reasons like even if it's like Sonic clearly like doesn't seem to like care one way or the other, there are like things to call back to for whenever he says those things that he would, now that he's mad at Sonic, internalize as being like, Sonic doesn't take me on missions, he doesn't believe in me, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Although we get a good line from Sally here where she's like, no, because I trust you to use this plane to get us the fuck out of Dodge when we get Tommy.
Yeah, which he does at the end, which is cool.
Yeah. But so they go into the city and they run into these are combots, right? These are way too big to be SWAT bots.
Those are shadow bots, I think.
Shadow bots. What the combots were in Endgame. That's what I was thinking of them.
Yeah, so they're shadow bots, which they're dope. I love them.
Yeah. Then we get no, Stealth Bot was in Sat AM. That's why there's too many bots. But then we just have a Sally just leaning seductively against this wall.
Yeah, like what are they doing? Why
you know what they're doing, Ian?
Well, I know, but why? Why'd they do
that? Because they could. Because no one said no.
I respect it. It's very funny. Yeah, and then like they get attacked by like a fake Sally, right?
No, that's way later. Yeah, so they're because then they're fighting and they split up. Sonic and Sally go to find Tommy. And this is the only issue where like there's any indication that this is happening after Sonic gets home. Because they mentioned the breakup and the fact that Antoine is a piece of shit.
Yeah, and they talk about it's like, well, Sal, you got mad at me for going on mission. And she's like, yeah, but like, fuck you, Tommy's my friend.
Yeah. And then we get a panel I really like of her swinging in and rescuing him. It's cute. It's fun. And then they go and they get Tommy, and then what, like you said, there's Robo Sonic and Robo Sally who show up to try and kill the others, and they are thoroughly dispatched.
They blow up the facility.
Yeah, and then Tails, there's some gas. There's a line that irked me because Sally, when they go into battle, Sally goes, maneuver 27. You're telling me they memorized 27 different maneuvers? Really? Like, no, I don't believe that. Also, let's look at what maneuver 27 actually is. It's nothing. Sonic spin dashes and bunny punches a guy.
Attack. I mean, maneuver 20s. That's how they. It's actually just to trick people. So it's like maneuver 27, and then like the villain thinks like, oh man, they're gonna attack. They're gonna like do a crazy thing, and then they just sucker punch you.
Yeah. But all right, if you don't have anything else to say about that's the only backup, and this is the 25 years later one, right? There's not a.
Yeah, I think we've done it.
Okay. No. Wait, we have Antoine.
Oh yes, so this is the big it couldn't have happened story.
Yeah, you told me about this, and I was looking out. I was like, because at first he's like, all right, I'll accept my thing from the king, and I'll talk about my dad. I'm like, all right, all of this could still be Patch's internal monologue. And then he straight up goes, oh hey, this is from that time after we beat Robotnik, where me and Bunny were a new couple. It's like, oh, never mind. Which I will say, this fucking story, I hate it. I hate it.
Who cares? Yeah.
Well, who cares? First of all, and it's such a fucking like, oh man, there's this girl I liked, but she didn't like me back because she only liked the jerks. And then like she comes back and she thinks I'm cool, but now I got a girl, so she fuck her, right? It's like, okay, what were you working through when you wrote this? You could tell me who hurt you. Like, what was her name? Like. And also, like, who drew this? This looks weird.
Yeah, it looks really bad.
Yeah, but no, then yeah, and then like, because they draw the younger freedom fighters, but like, look at Sonic's fucking face.
He looks atrocious. He looks like a scary hell demon.
Yeah, and Bunny is weird. Like, yeah, but then it's just a flashback of Antoine talking about his first crush who rejected him because she liked Sonic. And then he's
she's
like,
Bunny liked me for me. And then he's like, man, I sure love Bunny. Not. And he breaks the paper.
Yeah.
So again, literally could not have happened unless it was actually Antoine. Because this was not.
Yeah. Whatevs. Yeah, it's fine. I can't believe, it's such a glaring. Who cares? Whatever. Unless, because I don't remember. No, I guess we'll get there when we get there. I was gonna say, unless they say the switch happened after they broke up anyway.
No, that's not.
No.
Yeah, that's not it.
So yeah.
And also it can't even be like, well, I don't know, did they fight? It's like, no, in the evil timeline, Robotnik is a kind veterinarian. So
yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
But alrighty. My first note for 25 years later is literally, oh god, here we go again. So I can't believe what I'm about to describe actually happened.
Children read this.
So first, okay. So Ian, can you just take this one?
No.
You fucking piece of shit. Okay. So Linda,
what about her?
First is just a full shot of her just cleavage out. She's like, "Hey, my son, who looks exactly like Knuckles, with some dots on his forehead." Yeah. She's like, "What were you doing in that park?"
And don't lie. And then Dimitri's like, "Boys will be boys."
Yeah, and so you just get several pages. So then Dimitri's like, "Yeah, boys will be boys. Like, let him get off his ass." And then we get a flashback.
I can't do that anymore. I'm a robot head, so I'm living vicariously through him. What were we talking about?
Remember when I was a Nazi? Remember
she was a Nazi too, so it runs in the family.
Remember when Robotnik ripped my head off?
That's true. That was cool.
Yeah, and then they go from the flashback of Robotnik ripping his head off back to, well, but son, you better not be getting up to any hanky-panky in that park.
It's like, what is happening?
Yes, and then we get 4 panels of him trying to figure out how to get out of telling his mom he was banging in the park. And then he's just like, "Oh no, I was doing it." And and she goes, and we get an admittedly fun panel of her breathing fire on him. So that's something redeemable in this.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "But no, we didn't have sex, I swear." And I just, Ian, what the fuck is happening?
Look, Ken speaks to the human soul,
Does he?
All the other writers, they're too pansy to talk about their kids having sex, Whereas Ken, he's been a dad and he knows what it's like, and so he's like, you know what, kids, this is what you're gonna have to do one day. You and your Nazi grandpa are gonna have to sit your rooting down, and you're gonna tell and tooting all over those ladies.
Wait, what?
His name's Rootin', and he's rootin' tootin'.
Oh yeah, because we know all the people having this comic are definitely having sex on the regular. That's definitely a thing that's happening.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, but no. And then she's like, "What if I called what are they, sisters? Are they sisters?"
Yeah, they're sisters.
They don't look.
I think they're half. I think they're half siblings.
Sure. Okay.
Because they have the same dad, but not the same mom.
Yeah. Okay. And so she calls
Julie Sue's mom's name is Mary Sue, which is funny.
That's fun.
You're like, Ian, are you fucking with me?
Yeah. I've stopped. You could tell me anything. It
is true.
But so then we call Julie Sue, who's look, I'm not saying she's hot. I'm just saying the apron's a good look on her.
It is a good look.
And then we next we get a story that I can only describe as women, am I right?
Yeah, it's literally just Ken Penders writing 2 women talking over the phone about husbands, am I right? Bro, my sons, am I right? They're into your daughter, am I right? What are you doing, other female?
Yeah, and then we get this servant koala lady who
yes.
Who is she? Is she a character?
Her name is Abby, and she is the servant koala lady.
Yeah, but like, is she a? She's not a thing in like the mainline comics, right? Like she's made up for this.
Yeah, she's made up.
Sure.
I mean, she shows up. An alternate reality version of her shows up in the Scourge Prison Break arc as like a rough asshole who's just like, "Hey, Fiona, your boyfriend sucks."
Yeah. Oh God. I think I remember that.
Just unlocked a core memory.
Yeah. Well, I haven't read Scourge Lockdown in a while. I don't know if I've ever said this on air, but I remember for that brief period when there was gonna be a Scourge comic from like Who Gives a Fuck publisher.
Yeah.
The bit was I wanted us to talk about it on the show, and the joke was gonna be that I would go, Ian, I don't know why you just randomly decided to talk about Scourge Lockdown, but I mean that story is pretty good. So all right, let's do it.
Just catch me off guard.
Yeah, but no, and then but yeah, so that's it. But okay, I'm gonna say something that I'm 100% going to cut out of this. So future me, remember to cut out of this.
You're gonna bring up that she's like a racist stereotype?
Yes, okay. Yes.
Don't worry,
100% yes.
I don't think you're crazy. I think other people have said that.
Okay, maybe I won't cut this out then. But like, all I could think about was like in fucking what's the movie? Is it It's a Wonderful Life? Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life, where they have like the black like maid lady who's just that's what this is. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, Ken? Like who did why?
It's so stupid.
God,
why can Ken just not it's not just like, oh, I have to do an arc about like politics. It's like, no, they're fucking Nazis. I can't just have like a maid character. It's like it's
a racist stereotype.
It's a racist stereotype. It's so funny. Like, I'm just like, what is his deal? I don't understand.
I can't fucking believe it.
I'm gonna put a Holocaust poem in my comic. That'll be great.
Dude, I can't fucking believe. Like, I respect, the balls. I have to respect it. Like, it's like, why not?
Well, yeah, clearly, like, I don't think he did it, like, because like he's defended it, so like clearly he didn't do it to be funny. Like, haha. No. Like, like he clearly thought, like, oh, this is gonna be like a really like deep, like I'm gonna make it to where like old, readers when they're like older, they can like go back and be like, oh shit, they're the Nazis. This is really deep. It's timeless.
It's so deep. I'm 14 and this is deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude, it's just this is fucking great.
It's always really funny too, because like one of the big things about like the echidnas is it's like, are they just like racist to the dingoes? And then it was really funny that and it's like, does Ken know that? Does he understand what he's doing? And I think he, like, even when you read it, it seems very clear like he knew what he was doing. But it is funny that he said in like a tweet, he's like, it'd be really cool to do the Lara-Su Chronicles because I'll get to go into things that couldn't be as explicit in the kids comic, like the fact that he goes like the fact that like Echidnaopolis was built off the back of slaves.
Oh my god.
And it was the funniest thing was I was like, yeah, that sounds about right for the echidnas.
That's great. Is Lara-Su Chronicles still happening?
It's definitely happening. Oh, I gotta tell you about this. This is so funny. So someone asked him on Twitter, they're like, what the fuck is taking so long, Ken? And he's like, well, you see, the one of the reasons it's taken so long is that like the Lara-Su Chronicles is going to be a really huge success, and if that happens, Sega might try to like sue me for like all the money I'll be making over this property that's like connected to their series through like the lawsuit. So I have to wait until like it's just the right time to release it that Sega won't sue me for all the money I'm gonna make. I'm like, Ken, from future made up success. What are you fucking talking about? Nobody cares. Just release your stupid comic.
Oh god, I wish more authors would do that. I wish George R.R. Martin would be like, no, trust me, the last Song of Ice and Fire book is definitely done, but just like it's just gonna be so fun. Well, to be fair, for him that's true. For him, if he said like it's just gonna be so big, that would at least be true. But like, Ken, I assure you, no one gives that much of a shit about Lara-Su.
He's making an app for it, and he's going to put it. He's going to put it in every language available, so everyone can read it. Like he in our literal interview with him on the low art thing, he talks about how like he's like, yeah, man, like I have to learn like how apps work, and like it's really hard because like obviously like I got to be on the cutting edge of technology, and so like I have to figure out like, you know, are they going to use like nanotechnology, and that's really important to figure out because you got to make it timeless, you know.
Is he building the app himself?
Yeah, I think so.
Is he
like,
writing the code?
I mean, probably not, but like and then like, yeah, it's just like, Ken, what are you doing? Just make your stupid comic. And then he had the fucking gall to say, oh, in fact, like the first part I'm releasing is actually just a prologue. Like the story isn't going to be even going to start yet.
Oh.
And he's like, and you know, I'm also looking like I'm really interested in like, you know, because you know I don't want to just do comics for the rest of my life. He says at like age 50 something. You know, I think I might like expand into different markets like video games. You know, and I'm like, what is he talking about? What reality does he live in?
Well, because you see, once Lara-Su Chronicles takes off,
well, yeah, once it takes off,
you'll have video game studios begging him.
Well,
for
Sega, I mean, Sega might even come to him and say, hey, you know, you won that lawsuit fair and square, buddy, but you know, we kind of want the money off this this Lara-Su Chronicles thing, and then he's gonna have to fight. It's gonna be like the thing of the century, you know?
Yeah.
At that point, it was like, you know, when Nintendo, you know, takes down fan games, he's gonna have to make his own like counter property to keep the thing alive, like with Sony and Spider-Man. Like he's thinking of all this stuff, you know?
Dude,
I'm like, Ken, I genuinely don't know if it's gonna ever come out.
Oh, you know what's funny? I would play the fuck out of a Lara-Su game.
Yeah.
You kidding me? That'd be awesome. Like,
I want to read it. Just put it out, Ken.
Oh, dude, you know we have to cover it on the show.
Oh, absolutely. I've been waiting my entire life for this. And so is Ken. So
Oh, anyway, what are we talking about? Oh, yeah.
He canceled the comic in 2013 , by the way.
Wait, what?
Like Sonic.
Oh, okay. So I thought you made it canceled Lara-Su Chronicles in 2013.
It's been a decade, and he still hasn't released anything. Like he's released like pages and stuff like that. But like the it's not out. What is happening?
And you know what? Here's the thing. In case there's anyone in the comments, yes, we understand making comics, especially if you're gonna draw and write them. That's a lot of hard work. But Ken, buddy, maybe just commission someone to draw it for you. I'm not saying you can't draw the best. I'm just saying that maybe it would be in the best interest of the success of this comic if maybe you were not the one drawing it.
Well, and I meme on it, but you know, I think Ken is a pretty decent sport because when he went on our little interview with him, we told him like, hey, like we're gonna make a little video where we kind of like do like a silly Knuckles retrospective, and we want to have a moment where you talk to the audience and say something really fucking stupid. And he did it, and he said the line for us. He said, "Fear not, young Knuckles, I am the source of all." And he thought it was funny. So like
we should say that is that like you've talked to Ken, you've had nothing but pleasant experiences with Ken. This is nothing against Ken as a person. This is just he seems like a bit of a wacky guy sometimes.
I think he's just old. I think he
is old.
I just think he does it under. I think he just thinks like he'll still defend like the Knuckles Nazi stuff to this day, and he uses like the stuff of like, well, I have a Jewish friend, and he said it was cool. So.
No, he did not say that.
He did.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's like, I have a Jewish friend. I asked him about it. He said it was fine. So I'm just amazing. Like, all right, boomer. Like,
that's
what are we talking about?
The women are having women talk about their husbands and
their children
being in the kitchen. Yeah,
I think Ken drew this one. Did he?
No, he didn't. This is definitely Butler.
He draws one with Lara-Su, and he like draws her with like hyper realistic like legs and calves, and she's got no shoes on. And I was like, is that this one?
Is Lara-Su even in this? She is right at the end.
Yeah, she comes at the very end where she's like, broccoli.
Yeah, but
all right, then what happens?
What even happens? We didn't even say what happens.
They just fucking talk about how they're having dinner.
Yeah, fair enough. And
now it's the next one where we get to see Lara-Su take a shower on screen.
Well, we see her get out of a shower.
Yeah, what the fuck?
No, wait, that's not Lara. It's Julie.
Yeah, Julie Sue. It's
better. it's better, you know.
No, it's just
But
so
she's of
funny.
age.
Why, this is in the Sonic comic that like
Yeah.
they're just doing like domestic house stuff where it's like oh hey honey I'm coming in to brush my teeth. It's like oh okay, gets out of the shower. You could see like from the shoulders up, like and they're just like oh how's it going? How's work? It's like what is happening?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I like my domestic house stuff. Like fair enough. Like I like seeing these characters as people, but it's just what are you doing, man?
Oh yeah, no, we talk about that in the I know you didn't see the 25 years later section, so we talk about like the things Low Art and I really like about this section is that it is just so funny to see like the Sonic characters just in like these realistic domestic situations, which then wraps back around to being like kind of cute, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, like Knuckles is married and he loves his wife and they're just living life. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, then, and here, finally, like 5 or 6 parts in, we finally get Sonic.
Yeah, and he's having his midlife crisis, and he's like, man, I fucking hate my kid.
What? He says what?
He's like, man, I fucking hate my kid.
No, he says he likes his kid. He says he hates being the ruler, though.
No, I'm just talking about when his son's like, are we there yet, Dad? And he's like, oh, gosh.
Which I will say, I don't know if they play this up more, but like it'd be fun if they go like, you know, Sonic, that's what you were like.
Oh, yeah.
Have I ever talked about how much I fucking hate Sonic's children, by the way?
What do you hate about them?
They're just Sonic. They're boring. It's just Sonic and Sally. Do something else. Like,
hey, at least Sonia has like a cool jacket.
Yeah. Because she's just Sally. At least make the boy the squirrel and the girl the hedgehog. Like, is that too much to ask? Like,
yes, that would take any amount of thought.
That would take designing a new character and not just punching out one of Sonic's teeth.
Well, I'll give Ken credit because Lara-Su like actually has a like really good design.
Yes, I like Lara-Su is the one exception.
Yeah, no, she looks great. Like she
all the kids we see in because Tails' kids suck too.
Because they're just them, but kids.
Yeah. I think like Argyle is the only one in and I don't even think this is in this one. I think it's when Flynn does it that they try to make like in any way distinct from like his dad.
Yeah.
Oh god, I fucking.
Do you know the backstory behind why Amy and Mina, or why Mina and Tails are together?
Well, I think you just spoiled it, but I'll let you tell it.
Well, it's literally just that because Flynn was, I guess he asked about it, and it was just that literally like they were writing the story and just someone, I don't know, it was an editor, a person, whoever, someone just said, hey, wouldn't it be really funny if, and then that was it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna bring up the rumor that he was gonna be married to Amy, and they were like, oh no, fuck that, and then they changed it to Mina.
No, it was just that it would just be really funny if Tails was married to Mina, I guess. Someone thought that.
I guess.
Yeah, and I'm like, I guess?
I mean, here's the thing, is like, I could see that working, but like, you don't. Like, I at least know in the 25 years and 30 years later stuff I've seen, like, they barely fucking talk to each other. So, I don't know if in this they play up on any of the things that would make that pairing interesting.
Oh, you don't ever see them again in this.
I'm sorry, what?
You don't ever see like Mina and Tails again in the Ken story.
Did we see them at all? Have we seen them?
Yeah, they're in the little flashback thing. Where oh no, okay, sorry. No, that's when I don't know if we've got to that issue yet, but that's that'll be next time. So basically yeah, there's gonna be a part where
they're chilling by the pool, right?
Yeah, they're chilling by the pool, and they mention it.
That'll be next time. But yeah, no, and then so did you read this like I did, where I just read all the Sonic stuff and then went back up and read all the Knuckles stuff?
So I actually like the way it's structured, because the idea is it's like it's a parallel story. And yeah, actually, if you read it back to back, like they actually kind of complement each other. Where like a character will, like Knuckles will kind of say like, oh, I'm worried about this, and then you'll go down and you'll read Sonic and it's like, I'm just worried about blah 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 blah. Well, and then Sally be like, well, did you ever blah blah blah, and then it'll be Julie Sue being like, well, did you ever? So it's like it's supposed to be like a parallel story. And then the really cool thing they do is at the very end the two panels combine and the separator is the door, and like even like the colors start to blend of the red and the blue for the layout, and then like. And now they're like connecting, so it's actually like a pretty well like structured issue or
Yeah,
story.
no, I mean, I will say like this isn't bad. Like obviously there's the inherent absurdity of the whole thing. Like, but overall,
Yes.
like for what it is, it's pretty good. Like,
Yeah, which I enjoy.
and then there's what there's a line. This is such a fucking Ken line. Where when Julie Sue wakes up Knuckles, he goes, "I was dead to the world until you bellowed."
Yeah. Here's the thing. So I actually think like it like Ken's old man speak actually like works in this context now. Because like I actually do like Knuckles just being like, I was dead to the world, motherfucker. It's just so funny. Like, and also like you have the line in the first story where it's like, you know, there's an ancient echidna teaching I think we need to bring back. It's called a spanking.
Yeah, that's a good one. My next line. So we have the line where Sonic's like, I don't hate my kids, but I do hate being king.
I do hate you.
Yeah, I hate what you make. I hate that this is what being married to is like. But and so then he gives this whole spiel about how like, man, like I'm not fit to be king. I should be like going and punching people. And it's like there's a line. They establish a timeline here. He has been king for 15 years.
Yeah.
He's only now bringing this up.
I mean, like, you know, the infinite chili dogs and party and the juice, you know, it was good for those first 15 years. But like now he's starting to wake up from his coma and he realized he had 2 kids. And
you also gotta love how Sonic just dresses the exact same, aka nothing except his gloves and his shoes, but he just has a crown.
He just has a crown. At least 30 years later, had the decency to give him like a cape.
Yeah, that was fun. But
what a stupid story.
But so then I don't even know, man. But so then they meet and well, what's gonna happen next issue? It's gonna be wacky.
This is gonna go on for like I think another like 7 issues.
No.
What issue are we on?
We are on issue 137.
It ends in issue 144.
Oh my god. Why?
Because there's a lot of domestic nonsense we have to do.
Okay. Tell me straight up, how much of it is Sonic actually in?
He's in the rest of it.
Okay. So it's not just Knuckles 25 years later after this. Still, like it's
Knuckles Sonic is still around. He's definitely still around.
Yeah. That's amazing.
You know, prepare for literally the first thing you're gonna see next time we meet up is Julie Sue and Sally in one piece bikinis.
Oh no.
They're like, hey, how's it going, 12-year-olds? You liking your Sonic comic?
Oh, I mean, again, they knew what they were doing. Like, and quite frankly, I respect it. But God, yeah. But no, I mean, and that's also we find out at some point Manic has a crush on Lara. This will go nowhere.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Like at one point.
How old?
Yeah, go ahead.
How old are they supposed to be? Because Lara's 16. They're meant to be like what, 12, 13?
Yeah, something like that. Because she's like, he's too young for me.
Yeah. But anyway, you were saying at one point.
Oh yeah, like I think the most they do is like at one point he like tries to put his arm around her and she's like, "Get the fuck off me!" And he's like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no. But so that's that.
Yep, that sure was.
Yeah, that was an episode that we. What am I gonna title this, Ian? Like, because normally when I do these episodes, I like the title will be like the most interesting thing that happens, and then I'll do like Sonic Comic Chaos, then like the name of the story. What the fuck happened in this? Sonic's stupid dead turtle friend came back. Great. People are gonna click on that. Like,
yeah, do it. You title it Sonic's stupid turtle friend came back. Nobody's gonna click on that. And that's the title.
Well, what if I just title it like you can skip this one?
And then people are like, I have to know.
Yeah.
That's how you get them.
But, hey, we got an episode that was under 2 hours, audience.
Yeah, that's good.
All it took was us talking about 3 issues where nothing happened.
I mean, if anything, that's more an insult towards IDW.
Right? Well, that's the thing, right? I was thinking about this the other day. We talked about all of IDW in like an hour and a half, like last year. Oh, God. But anyway, final thoughts, Ian. I mean, did you like this? I mean, here's the thing, right?
Like, I think the I think the main stuff. I think all the like B stories are actually pretty good, as we talked about. Yeah. And then for the main stories, like I think like it's like decent fun. And then for the Knuckles stuff, it's just kind of like I'm just like my jaw is on the floor, but that's about it.
Yeah, but it's just like, yeah. I mean, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I'll take this over IDW 100 out of 100 days of the week.
Oh, absolutely. Like, it wasn't, like, terrible. Like, it's just...
No, and even the stuff that is, like, what the fuck? Like, even the story with Sonic's dad, which... Is it terrible? I don't know, but it's definitely bizarre.
Well, like that I think, I think what it has going, like, I think what Archie always has going for it is like, it's fun to talk about, you know?
That's the thing, right? Is it's like... I have maintained this since day one. Even when Archie Sonic is not good, it's fun. Like, yeah, it's fun, and it's fun to make fun of. Like, whereas, like, and I don't want to shit on IDW just because I mean, I will always, but like, that's not what we're here for. But like, with that, it's like, yeah, this is, I guess, okay. Like, this is like white bread. Like, I'm technically eating food. Like, I'm technically reading a comic. Like, it's, yeah. Whereas this, it's swinging for the fences, and I respect it. But
absolutely,
yeah. And then when we but next time we will be doing one of your favorite stories, correct? Return to Angel Island.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be great. Yeah. Even though you don't have all like the context of Knuckles, I mean, I guess you do. You watch the videos, so yeah. So yeah, no, get hyped. Return to Angel Island is like one of the best stories in the comic period, with one of the best art styles in the whole comic. So
yeah, and from what I recall,
yeah, go ahead. I was just gonna say it's one of the best looking stories in the whole comic.
Oh yeah, well, because it's all drawn by John Gray, right?
Yes.
Oh my god, I love it. I really, it's sad that people like overlook John Gray's art just because it's so like weird and off model, because it is so fucking charming. But I think that story also contributes a bit to why people think that the Tommy trilogy was like an old story that they just threw in here, because doesn't that one open up? Because I skimmed it briefly after you recommended it, but like, I don't remember much of it. But doesn't that one literally open up with Sally being like, yep, Sonic, we're definitely broken up, and that's definitely a thing that just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, come back for that. I'm excited.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, until next time, I'm the Silver Ace 01. I'm here. I'm on Twitter at the Silver Ace 01. Ian, you're a person?
Yeah, Ian Waffles on YouTube and Twitter, and you can find me there.
Yeah, and until next time.
Thanks for having me as usual.
As always, until next time, take care, everyone.
Bye.